Hello, season 10 is here, so I'm back with a new build. This one is a Firestaff GREATAXE for season 10. This uses a lot of new sets and stuff, so it's gonna be a pretty long video, especially when I explain gear. But here we go. These are the attributes I'm gonna run. I'll have plus 48 food here, so 200 con. You might wonder why not go 50 int, because there's a new scaling thing with the GA, and I'm also using Inferno. They reduced diminishing returns on just going one stat, so this is just really high base damage for your GA. Also, nodes got nerfed, so the nodes are not super valuable to pick up. And I tried playing this build with 150 con and doing 50 int, but 200 con just felt a lot nicer to play. So these are my stats. This is the GA tree. We're going to be playing Whirlwind on this build. Maelstrom. No Reap, because this build really strives in AoE situations. So I've got some clips I'll show later, by the way. This passive for more Empower. We can't go Bloodlust, unfortunately, because we're doing 2 Mauler abilities, but Mauler's Fury is okay. Full Charge. Now, Charge has a new perk called Intangible Charge, I think, and it makes Charge hit really hard. And it makes it a lot easier to hit, so Full Charge, which you usually won't see, and this one, this node here is a bit optional. You might want to go this or Gravity even, but I think getting the extra 45 just feels really nice. So that's J tree real quickly. This is the Firestaff tree. Doesn't matter too much. Your Firestaff is just for like a little bit of poke. It's to proc Elemental Charge. But really, the Inferno is there just to be a stat stick for your GA. But it hits decently, as you see in the clips too, but Burnout, Fireball, Pillar. Not going to talk too much about this, so the video's not too long. So, the gear. We're playing Inferno. 15% extra damage on both weapons, so as long as you're within 15 meters, of course. So the GA, obviously, melee weapon. And it lets us just go full strength, and our Firestaff won't do terrible damage. Another good thing about Inferno, so weapons, if on the weapon is a charm, so unlike Season 9, charms, even on weapons, give the other weapon the stats. So all of these will work, sorry, even if I'm just hitting with my GREATAXE. So Inferno, really, really crazy stat stick. The GA I'm playing, it kind of has to have this if you want to play Whirlwind. You could play everything else around this build and not play Whirlwind if you can't get this, but I would really try to farm this. I got mine on the PvP track. And it rolls 1 offensive charm slot, 1 skill gem, and I got really lucky. You can actually roll Alacritus as a random fix perk. And this GA comes with Stifling as its set bonus, so this is really strong. You just, once all your abilities are on cooldown, you hit somebody, they get silenced. And I also went Opal. If you've seen my videos from last season, I probably would have went Turquoise. However, Runeglass this season, it used to have a negative effect, right, where the actual gem would do less. No longer exists for Runeglass, so you should Runeglass everything. I should change this gem to an Opal too, but doesn't matter too much. The arm artifact I'm playing is Jin. So every other artifact basically got a nerf coming into Season 10. Jin really didn't, and also it's a lot easier to get Invigorated going. So this build is... the overall idea defensively is as many Shirking Thoughts as you can get, and 5 Invigorated with Jin. Pretty much the same effect as doing Jin Thought Invig as last season, so you take no Weaken, Disease, Exhaust, or End. These are like the 4 worst debuffs to get hit by. I put Keenly Thought in here. You should always have 1 Keen Thought in your build. 1 Keen Empowered and 1 Keenly Jagged, by the way. These are really strong perks, but obviously they only stack once, so only get them one time. Now, this is another type of set we're playing. This one is elementally charged. So how this works is, if you do damage with a magic weapon, so ours would be Inferno, the next time you hit an ability with your physical weapon, all ticks of that ability are gonna tick for 10% weapon damage. So, and also this one comes with 5% LE resistance, which is quite a strong set infix, that's what it's called. So that's one of the main reasons I'm playing Whirlwind. So Whirlwind hits 12 times. I'm gonna get 12 ticks of this elementally charged. I don't know if you heard that, sorry. Yeah, so basically abilities that hit many times really suit this. And we're already playing Inferno. We got 2-piece elementally charged. Invig 2 here, obviously. And then in an ideal situation, I would get a Shirking Fart going. This is the second piece of that. Same concept. So our first piece is Stifling is the axe, so we just need 1 piece on armor now. Invigorated 2 here. This effect doesn't really matter, so don't worry about that. And ideally, you would get a Shirking Fart 2 here. This is just faction gear, by the way. So if you're just starting PvP, I would recommend buying faction gear. It always comes with Shirking Fart, a gem slot, and a defense slot. So it's just pretty solid starter gear. Yep. We have another set going, Enrage. Now, Enrage, you take more damage, but you do more damage, and you have to be basically melee range, so this suits us very well. The bad thing about this is you do have to do Isle of Night to get Enrage, and also Second Wind. So this build is using a lot of new sets, so it's kind of fun. But if you can't do the raid, it's a bit worse, but you could still play it. I did at the start of the season. The amulet's just really bad because it's just what I got. Another thing to note is after I got, because I do Keely Empowered, Keely Jagged here, every other offensive charm I get, I just do Penetrating Backstab. You can only have 1 per item, by the way. Or, yeah, unique per charm. So I will say though, okay, Whirlwind cannot backstab, but everything else does backstab, and this perk really adds up to a lot. Like my light attacks do like 5k damage, it's very strong. Now, this, the ring is very important, because rings usually come with very strong set infix, which means this bit right here. So this build is kind of unplayable, because once Whirlwind ends, this effect means you get exhausted, which typically would put you in a dangerous situation, because you can't dodge, right? People are going to use all their damage on you. But this ring exists, and it only exists on ring. So very important, your second ring piece, one of them has to be a ring. And on here, I took Intangible Charge. Must have GA perk now if you're playing Charge. It makes your charge do a lot of damage, and it just goes through everything, so you can no longer get body blocked. And then finally, another second wind piece to finish. I really like Healing Heart this season, and also Refreshment. And Refreshing Toasts. No Jewelry Artifact. Artifacts are not a must-play thing anymore, so here I just opted for more sets. I do have a, I guess like this, what I would want to have if everything drops from me. I've made a new old buddy of that. I'm gonna put that in the description, so you can just use that or refer back to this video if you wanna try gear up. And then I just play Mending Stormform. So to show the new old buddy really quick, this will be linked in the description. It's pretty much the same. One thing to note is set gear usually has a lot of perks that are unchangeable. Well, fixed, basically. And set amulets drop really bad. A lot of them drop with stop, drop, and roll and just other bad perks. So when you go through this, just remember the Enrage piece has changed to the boot, and the amulet is a free piece. And you can get crazy amulets like this. I didn't know how to make sets show up here, so just take note of that. But the overall build is the same. It's 2 elementally charged, 2 second wind, 2 stifling, 1 enrage. That's kind of the end game of what we're going for. And then Jin, 5 invig. Oh, you can see it here, sorry. This should have a stifling ready, because the axe and then also the legs. I just didn't know how to make it show up. So yeah, this will be in the description if you want to just use this to refer back to gear. Everything here is the same. I want to show you some clips and a little bit of like how to play, because you do, it might feel bad, but you do have to stam out on purpose, especially before you whirlwind. Very important for this build, because you do 20% more base damage. So this build, GA, we might all know now, easily in power stacks. So every bit of base damage is like extra strong. So Enrage, also base damage, is why we opted for it. And then this is not exactly base damage, it's flat damage, but it's not in power, basically. Yeah. So a lot of stamina on purpose, which might look bad, but in context with the build, it makes a lot of sense. So we'll go through some clips here. Hold on. 1080p. Yeah, so here, look, I burn out, I spin in. So Whirlwind does 12 hits. This 2.6k and then 350 from the this is elementally charged. So just imagine I'm doing 3k per tick of AoE spin that also empower caps me and ends up giving me, oh sorry, okay, this should have, sorry, production issues, this should have Fortifying Whirlwind. I have it here, sorry. So I get 100% Fortify going. I don't know if you can hear that beep. If you can, I'm so sorry. So we'll continue the clip. You can see how much damage I do, and I'm very tanky. You see me weave in Fire Staff abilities just so I can get an LE charge proc. And then here you see what I'm talking about with the auto attacks, 3.5k per auto. 5.5k charge. notice that I stam every time before I use Whirlwind. And when you come out of this, because the axe infix stams you, you can come out and do a light attack Maelstrom. Very strong, will get the bonus damage too. There's an, I don't even know how many, I kill like 6 people this clip, it's crazy. We solo win mid here. And then you also have the Inferno as like a finisher, poke ability. Very strong. This clip here showcases how good the uninterruptible bit is. So against spears and like hammers particularly, it's like almost better to just stam out because you can't get stunned or staggered. We have sound here. You can hear all the dings. Crazy damage, by the way. The most high damage build I've ever seen. You see that? Spamming out on purpose, I get uninterruptible. So the jab missed. It also can't hit me. I'm kind of waiting for Whirlwind here to come up, and then I'm gonna stam out in Whirlwind. You see that? On purpose. And then I do insane damage. One thing... Oh, that was crazy. One thing to remember is once your stamina is back to full, for some reason you can get sweeped and stuff. I don't know why. So you want to be aware that once your stamina gets full, if someone has CC, you need to manually end your Whirlwind. So you can go 0 stamina and you get the uninterruptible back, which might mean ending your Whirlwind early, but that's okay. Sometimes we gotta do that. And then here's another clip just to show you how good the damage is. Make it full screen. Absolutely melting in OPR, guys. This build is crazy. Random scoreboard here, but I do this like all the time, so this is my current S10 build, first one. I will be making more. Hopefully I explain stuff so gearing is a bit easier, or you know what you want to look for. But any more questions, just put them in the comments or find me at Twitch. I stream pretty much every day, twitch.tv/CharlieT. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.